Okay. Um, I try to keep this in a common language sense, trying to avoid some language that will turn the mind off of others. In other words, a language that may be Latin, maybe Hindi, so the person turns his mind off on it. So what we're doing here is doing a little study on the positioning, the importance of the positioning of the sun and what it causes. We already have heard that cortisol, considered like the stress hormone, but actually you put cortisol in stress. Cortisol is very good, very helpful. So cortisol is stimulated around, and I'm going to use the word muhurta. Muhurta is, instead of using hour, because hours can't give you the feeling of what is being told. So muhurta is calculated according to sunrise and sunset. Just to give a quick overview of it. And of course, in the solstice, it is at the max. You know, like the June solstice, the sun is at the max in the day. And but we're coming up to around September 26, where the sun is equal, day and night. So when that is happening, the muhurta is 48. Just to give, instead of 60 minutes, the muhurta is 48. And that would be 48 during the day and 48 during the night. So since we're coming close to that equinox, when they're both common, we have to readjust to see what because the muhurta is the judge, it's the controller. Okay, so now we're at, you can look this up in your sunrise, sunset, and it'll give it to you. We're at the 28th north latitude. So wherever you are, you're going to be different on the 28th of August. We're at the latitude of 28 north. Of course, if you're at 28 south, you'd be getting the same thing. Okay, so sunrise here is about 5:56. Okay, 5:56 is the sunrise, and I'm pointing sunrise, not just what throws people off is when your calculator in your phone, it doesn't calculate the muhurta right, because they don't consider daylight time as beginning at sunrise, because you haven't got a full sun yet. So, but in the muhurta, it's calculated when the sun rises, 5:56. And this east means like the angle. Okay? Now, east 79. What does that mean? Well, pure east is 90. So it is almost at pure east. It's almost rising at pure east. Now, it'll be 90 at equinox. like it's laying on, the sun's laying on a plate, you know, like a little round plate, and then it's going on the, you know, outside of the round plate, and it's coming up at 79. So of course that is 11 degrees, right? It's 11 degrees off from pure east, due east. So of course it's going to set, here it's setting at 6:44 p.m., 1844. And that is west. And what? You add 11 degrees, right? Because pure, you know, due west is 270. So 281. So that explains the angle and how the angle is calculated. So now we're getting to the calculation of the muhurta. So in their calculation, it had one time, and I had to get my own calculation according to sunrise and sunset. So if you have 5:56, right? 5 hours and 56 minutes, then you have to see how many minutes there is before 12 o'clock, right? And then how many minutes there is after 12 to sunset. So after 12 to sunset's easy. That's 6 hours and 44 minutes. That's the easy part. But the difficult part is how many minutes are there from 5:56 to 12 o'clock. So by calculating that, we come, we put that all together, and I got another paper here. If you want to follow, you know, in detail and everything. It's a little tight, you know. I'm trying to grab this time at the best time. I'm trying to speak of this while it's happening, to have some cognizance of it myself. And of course, that took getting up at 3 in the morning and preparing. So if I'm a little bit hazy, excuse me. So 5:56 to 12, you know, so 4 minutes until 6. And then from 6 to 12, there's 5 complete minutes. 5 complete hours. So then we take those 5 hours and we're going to add it to the evening, which is 6. So 5 and 6 is 11. And then 11 times 60, right? 11 times 60 is 660. And then because you have 4 minutes in the morning before 6, we're going to have to add that up. And then you have 44 minutes, so that's 48. So then you've come up with daylight, okay? This is sunrise, sunset. Daylight time, according to Muhurta, is 11 hours and 48 minutes. Of course, that has to be converted all into minutes. So, follow please. So, converting that, 11 hours and 60, times 60 is 66, plus those 4 minutes and 44 minutes gives you 48, and you plus that, okay? So now you got 708. When it's at the equinox, it's 720. So you can see that we're getting pretty close to the equinox, you know. And we're here at January. Boy, I'm trying to wake up. 28 August, right? We're here at 28 August. And 26 September, it's going to be 720 minutes, because it'll come out to be equaling 48, and 48 for every muhurta in the day, and 48 for every muhurta at night. It's equinox, equal. Okay, so now we've got it. So now we've got that number, that total number has to be divided by 15 hours, or muhurtas, 15 muhurtas in the day and 15 muhurtas at night. So 15 muhurtas into 708 gives you 54. So now we got this is the day muhurta. But we know that at the equinox it's 48. So we have to subtract whatever this is over 48 to find the night muhurta, because we're dealing with the night. Okay? So now 50.4, and then you subtract 48, that gives you 2.4. And then you subtract 2.4 from 48, and that gives you, this is the day muhurta, 50.4, and the night muhurta is 45.6. Okay, now, thanks for patience, if you're still with me. So now, what we want to do is begin at like human time. This is a muhurta, but it's 3 muhurtas before sunrise. So to get that muhurta, you would have to take sunrise, multiply the muhurta by 3, and subtract it from sunrise. And that gives you the 339. So 339 is the beginning of Surya Muhurta. So what is so important about Surya Muhurta? Because Surya Muhurta is designated, thousands of years ago. Who would know the inner part of your body so long back? Well, now in the modern time, the advanced time, they are finding out that cortisol is naturally, now this is not cortisol being agitated by eating or anything like that, but this is naturally awakens. It naturally awakens at the angle of the sun to, you would say, because you're not seeing the sun, but don't think the sun's not there. The rays of the sun, those rays of the sun that are not like the full blast straight rays, are very soothing. And these rays are hitting your atmosphere at 339. And those rays are stimulating cortisol. And cortisol is the alarm clock, the natural alarm clock. So it's bringing you to a place where naturally you should get up and take advantage of the good atmosphere. The sun rays are not agitating the night had a whole night to calm down. And now there's a time where the person should get up. It's a little difficult, but at least you can think about it and dream about it. Many of us get up at that time. So now you're getting into a time where you're getting prepared. Your body has relaxed. You're not stimulating the body from the outside. The body is naturally taking, it's like at ease. It's not being pushed. It's not being, when you're moving your muscles and doing all these other things that you'll do during the day, you cause heat. And it causes a disbalance in the electromagnetic force in your body. Because you need it to be able to do things during the day. But this is a very calming part. So it should like right now you can see there's, well, this thing lights everything up, but the lights aren't on. And I certainly will never have an LED in this room, because I want this to be a nice calm time in the mind. And I want my eyes to function 100%. Most people have to have a light, and they can't do anything if there's no light. Well, that is about half of the function of your eyes. You should have a time where the eyes have to adjust to the darkness, and those rods, the cones and the rods, then the rods will function, and they're on the outside of your eyes. The eyeball, then the outside of the eyes. So you want to use your full eye. So turning on that light, and especially a LED light, is so damaging. So you don't want to disturb this time. You want to take advantage of it. So what is another thing that's very important about this time? This time, cleanup is gone. The whole night there's been some cleanup in your mind, and not only that, but your mind is preparing for the next day. Whatever you were thinking about when you slept, that has been chewed up, digested, and everything, and is preparing you for the next day. So you can always, when you wake up, try to feel what was your major thought at night. And of course you want to go to sleep with a good major thought. Oh, so here we are. And we are, this is the beginning at the Surya Muhurta. But it really gets good at astronomical time. Astronomical time, the sun is not seen yet, but it's at an angle. And why does it say astronomical time? It's like at the perfect angle that you can study the stars. Persons that know the heavenly the planets and everything, and they want to study them, this is the best time to study them. This is the time where I don't understand it completely, but everything is so calm. The atmosphere is so calm, and it's just natural, so natural. So this is from 4:35 to 5:04, before sun, about 40 minutes before sunrise. Yeah. So yeah, about 52 minutes before sunrise, to be exact. So perfect time Try to grasp that. This is perfect human time. Body, mind, everything. If you were to feel your body, you would feel that there's some warmth coming from your body. In other words, your hand can feel this emanation of some warmth made by the body, not by the hot sun or the cold wind, but made by the body itself. Why? Because circulation is at peak circulation. And how is that circulation at peak circulation? That is caused by nitric oxide. So nitric oxide has been, it's just so damaged during the day, and it really has to work itself out. It's such an important thing. So, and you have to stimulate it to even get it going during the day. But here, your body is nitric oxide balanced. And especially during this time, it's nitric oxide balanced. Now, I'm 77, but for those that are not so old and just beginning life, this is the time when two persons get together and call a very elevated soul and call it so that they can have it as a child. This is the time, not nighttime. Nighttime, both persons' body are completely a disaster and have to recover. The first sleep that you have is delta sleep, and it's like, a reboot or, refresh, because everything's just dirty, totally dirty, and everything's a disarrangement. So at that time would be the worst time to have. And at this time, speaking medically, at this time, the person, the man, the semen flows easy. There's no need to agitate it, because I don't want to interfere. My mind should not interfere with the flow of an entity of very high quality. If all of a sudden I feel like I have to really get powerful about this, no. At this time, naturally, everything becomes natural. Everything becomes very calm. And then the calling for a living entity, I'm just giving it importance of this time, because this is also the calling of spiritual advancement, calling of good health, calling of everything this time. It's not just for having children, but there's an importance in this time. It's a very calming time. So it shows that we should try to take advantage of this time. Now, first thing the person does to be hygienic and everything is brush his teeth, right? Well, don't do it. Don't do it, because your body all night long has worked very hard to adjust everything. And it has made, it's reading all the messages from the body itself. Actually, the vagus nerve is carrying so many messages up, and it's even carrying messages to your saliva. It's telling the saliva how to construct itself, and how that it can send signals from the mouth into the stomach. So there's even special saliva. It's about 500 of them. Some major ones, but the saliva glands are like many of them. So these saliva glands, they put certain saliva out. Why? It's not just spit, it's for digestion. It's like a plastic bag going over something that's going in and telling the stomach how to digest it. And that is all done over a whole night. So don't go in and all of a sudden brush your teeth and throw everything out of your mouth. Wait. Wait until it comes time for drinking water. So now we've got good time for meditation, good time for having kids, how to come about it, how to calculate it, how to bring yourself to this, right? And this is, there's no overestimating the power of this time. During the whole day, I have to work to get this advantage. I would have to work very hard to get the advantage that you are naturally given by your body right here. Best time for studying, calmest time in the universe, calmest time in the astros, calmest time. Everything is so calm, and you can feel yourself more at this time. And you can examine your situation at this time. After sunrise, calamity. You have to get moving, get to work, get up. So this time is very good. There is no overestimating it. It's very good, and it's very much eliminated from almost everybody's life. Yeah, so you should come at least aware of the danger you're doing to your life. Now, the mitochondria. Everything in your body has to be what they call hacked. Like, even myself, I have to push myself to do something. So the mitochondria has a function that it can make new neurons for the brain, but it doesn't. It gets lazy. So how can we hack the mitochondria? Well, we put it into starvation. Just an overnight starvation. That is called the fasting window. In other words, that time that you go from the last time you put something in your mouth to the first time you put something in your mouth, that fasting window should be quite large. So that the mitochondria feels like I'm starving. So I have to work hard, and I better get some new people up, because the old neurons aren't going to help me out. They're old. I got to get some new ones. And it's the whole thing of telomeres. Telomeres have three. They're at the end of a neuron, but it gets too complicated. But just the telomeres have 3 blueprints. One is like the blueprint you get at birth. Then another is like the blueprint you get like most of your life. And the other one is the blueprint that you're leaving. So you don't want the blueprint that you're leaving come too early, or you increase it. You don't want that to happen. So this type of fasting makes the blueprint that when you were born come more prominent. And that's what you would like. This video is getting a little long, but hang on, just hang on. I always feel bad because I want to do it in Spanish too, but difficult, just difficult. Okay, so now, the mitochondria, you don't want to wake it up, you want to starve it. Don't put anything in your mouth. If you do put anything, put water. Now remember, I'm not a doctor, so don't. I got my disclaimer, so don't come to me. Okay, so what I do in my circumstance, I even fast from water to make it really a hack until about 8:30 morning time. And then I'll start taking things and wake up the mitochondria and calm it down. But it takes so little to calm it down. And, just an extra point and everything. If you take a nice cold bath at this time, you'll lose weight. Yeah. The mitochondria is working so much that it'll help you lose weight. Just by passing cold water on your body, you'll get about an hour of good weight loss. And if you do an hour of good weight loss every day, then it'll take that away just naturally. So you just jump up and take a nice good cold bath. Yeah, you can even drink some cold water, and you really got a weight loss. Cold water and a cold bath. Don't catch a cold by doing something like that, but in a nice controlled way. Yeah. So I don't personally drink any water until about 8:30 in the morning, just to get the best benefit. I am going to show that, because at this time, well, maybe I'll just try to do it. I'll try to do it. You can get the hint of it. Nails, fingernails. I can give you reference. Nails, fingernails, I don't need a reference from a modern doctor. I got reference from more than 5,000 years ago. They are like the condensed electric plant in your whole body. And of course your teeth are even more. So they are like the generating place of electricity in the human body. So they have a very high potency. They can go deep. Your nails, not somebody else's nails, because it has to be a complete current. To function, it has to be a complete current. You can't use somebody else's nails. So I take my nail, and not to hurt, but at least to feel. If you hold, you even get more of benefit. And just move. Yeah, just move. This helps. At morning time, everything just like needs to be moved. This can even, right in this bone marrow, inside the bone marrow are stem cells. They're hiding. Stem cells are incredible. But that motion, like sends a wake-up call to them. How much? I don't know. But it does send a wake-up call. And you can, and just for a practical thing, If you do this in the morning, all of a sudden you have to go to the bathroom quickly because it really gets the whole body moving. And you can do it all the way up. You can do it all the way up. And anybody knows that you want all this dirt that accumulates. You want all this dirt that accumulates, and you want it to go up. You want it to go up into the, or on this part of the body, you want it to go up all the way to where the stool comes out. So you just do it like that. Yeah. You just do it like that nicely. You can grab it. You can grab. Don't worry about it. And just think, oh, I'm balancing. And if you would think this is worthless, then you don't know what's happening nowadays. They're finding at least 5 grams of plastic within the brain of people. Now, 5 grams of plastic within the brain should bring a little bit consciousness to the person that something's going on wrong. And it is found that the disbalance of your natural electricity can help remove that. You can't stop it. It's only going to get worse because plastic's not going to go away. People just love plastic. So it's not going to go away. So you have to balance your EMF, electromagnetic force, or flux. I like to use flux. Yeah. Oh. And do the other side. And this can apply to the whole body. This can apply to the whole body. And this can definitely take away pain. Definitely takes away pain. Because pain is just that there's an obstruction. There's a flow obstruction. And of course, you do it all over the body. Now, if you want to experiment, which I sometimes do, you can also do something. You know these steel clips for hanging clothes? You know, laundry clips for hanging clothes. Okay, we lost. Let's see, maybe I can regroup here. Hang on. No, can't see hardly anything here. Now this is actually the fun part. Wow, you're only at 48. Let's see if we can get the light back. Okay, we got it. No problem. Okay, just to keep it going, you can't see me, but this and this, like, I hate to even mention it because it puts the ladies to one side. But if you want to know how much disbalanced your body is in the fact of electromagnetic energy in your body, take a clip, a steel clip that holds clothes, and put it on the end of the tit. Put it on the end of the tit. And then leave it there and the pain at first. Now, myself, I've done it so many times, and what's happening is this area of your chest, and it's logical, the area of your chest around your heart. I can see if I can put it onto me. Boy, that light's terrible. So, the area of your chest, this is where anger, envy, and it just abides. It like stays. So there's such a disbalance. There's such a disbalance in this area. So when you put that clip on, that clip, I can tell you because I was suffering from a heavy cold, and I was just like, didn't know what to do about this heavy cold and heavy mucus. And then I went to see a expert homeopathic, and he says, oh, your body has clogged in that area. You don't have something bad, but your body is clogged because of your electromagnetic force. And I was like surprised. So then he just suggested just a massage in that area, and it'll release. So I did. I massaged in that area, and of course there was pain, but the pain was good. Just hang on here. Let's see. Yeah. My first little massage was with this guy in that area. You know? And it burned. And I was amazed. I was saying, man, this is feeling like burning. And what it is just anxiety. It's trapped electrical flux, you can call it whatever you want to, inflammation, whatever you want to call it. But that's what it was. So instead of having this little guy every day, I said, okay, I'll just take a clothes clip and put it on the end of the tip. The first time I put it on, I couldn't even stand a minute. Half a minute was enough. And I was amazed on the heat. You can feel the heat. You'll feel this heat come to that clip. And you say, this is proof. Sorry, girls, this is a little difficult for you. But this is, men, it's proof that this area on the chest is like the place for accumulated bad EMF. Anger, frustration, pain, this, that, and the other. And if you don't take care of it, like it happened to me, it became mucus. And after doing this, the mucus disappeared. I didn't take anything for the mucus. It just disappeared. So I sort of avoid telling that because everybody gets their own imaginations going. But that's the truth. Truth of the matter is we have a lot of EMF. And that's electricity that is not flowing where it should go. And it's giving a lot of damage to the person. So I've tried to do that. I sure would like somebody that has the ability. The people can do the biological impedance. Biological impedance analysis. it's just testing how your body is hydrated, how much your body is hydrated. Also, it can tell you your muscle mass. Is the muscle just fat, or is the muscle a muscle mass? They call it the BIA, biological impedance analysis. And it can help. It can help because it can tell you, what's going on in your body. Whether you're hydrating enough, whether your muscles are actually fat, or whether they're actually a mass. Yeah, and it's an important test. It gives you an eye opener on yourself. Okay, so let's see. We've gone over, and remember, what I've said, that your nails are the breeding grounds of electricity. They're the breeding grounds of electricity for your whole body. Little dirty nails there. But looks like I took a little dirt off the body too. Yeah, so they're the breeding grounds. And of all these, the teeth are the most concentrated breathing grounds of electron. So if a person wants to get, people are becoming conscious of this disbalance in our natural electricity in our body. They're becoming aware of it and how much effect it has on them. More and more. So take your big toe, put it in your mouth, and bite. That is the maximum, bringing to a calmness the electrical flow in your body. You've grounded yourself. In other words, you can go out and walk on the dirt. Okay, great. But some people don't have the ability to go out and walk on the dirt all the time, or be on the dirt all the time. But if you want to ground yourself, you put your big toe in your mouth, and then you just sit there and bite on it, and that will balance, because your lower chakras are at an infrared status, around 300 hertz, and your head is around 800 hertz. So your toenail is around 200 hertz. So you got a difference of 600 hertz. And if you reconnect those two, then it balances you out. You don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to have a grounding mat. You don't have to have grounding shoes. You don't have this, that, and the other. You can actually just ground yourself. I know this has gone a long time, but easier just to come out and say, and people can study about it and everything. Yeah. So, beautiful time. Right now, it's like the best time, the calmest time before the whole day begins. And the atmosphere, the whole thing is set up for us to take advantage of this time. So don't sleep your life away. Try to bring yourself to a point where there's something to do at this great time. Even if you just sit and think to yourself. Oh, I sit and do Hare Krishna activities. So I would certainly recommend it, but many people would just not even, they just put it into a different category and turn their mind off. So I didn't want to leave anybody out. So please take advantage of this time. Don't let this time, just fleet away. Don't think that your best time is after work, at the night hours, on Saturday. That is the most disruptive time, very disruptive to human society. Very disruptive. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Have a good day. 27th of August today.